Hello, this presentation will be a video pertaining to Libya's oil production. The presentation was put together by Taylor Cormier, John Fry, Zachary Higdon, and Killian Neems. Some of the main contents of this presentation will include the geographical location and also examining the physical landscape, Libya's history, both politically and pertaining to oil, conflicts and war and their effect on the oil industry, oil reserves and their relation to other countries, natural gas reserves and consumption, and the production, the companies, and the refining aspects of Libya's oil industry as a whole. Geographically, Libya is located in the Maghreb region of North Africa and is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea, Egypt, Chad, Niger, Algeria, and Tunisia. As you can see in the picture, Libya and its major cities are the ones highlighted in yellow, while the surrounding countries are the ones in gray. Physically speaking, the land in Libya consists mostly of dry, arid deserts, but these deserts happen to be the home of all of the oil that Libya contains, which is what makes it such a prime location to have an oil industry. Libya became an oil exporter in 1961. It joined the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries in 1962. It was originally ruled by Emir Iris Sanusi, but he was then replaced by Colonel Muammar al-Gaddafi in 1969. The colonel can be seen at the bottom right picture of the man wearing gold. Since then, Libya's industry has seen dramatic ups and downs, which is not always what you would want because obviously consistency is what most people would be trying to strive for. Dealing with conflicts and war, Libya experienced a civil war which completely wiped out its exporting oil industry. Not only did that have a harsh effect on Libya, but it would also make it extremely hard for them to start their exporting oil industry back up again. The civil war was started by the population fighting over Gaddafi. The people in Libya became so obsessed with fighting each other that they ended up not even getting their own business done and causing the country to come close to bankruptcy. The situation ended up being so bad that Libya had to reach into their international reserves. Libya holds the largest amount of proved crude oil reserves in Africa. It's an important contributor to the global supply of light sweet crude oil. Petroleum exports are the heart of Libya's economy. Because Libya is such a dry and arid place and has so much oil to offer, it would make sense that almost all of the business that Libya deals with revolves around oil, and all of the jobs Libya has to offer would also revolve around oil. So the bottom left of your screen, you can see a graph of the main crude exporters in North Africa and the Middle East as of 2008. You can see how high up Libya is on this list and how much oil Libya exports just by looking at the light green section of the graph. Now, all of these countries are well-known oil producers, and Libya is sitting at the top of them, which should put into perspective of how much oil is actually in Libya. Libya's gas reserves were presumed to be around 70 billion in 2009. It's the second country to export liquefied natural gas and has the 7th highest reserves of natural gas in the world. Oil and natural gas combine for more than 98% of the entire country's export revenue, which goes back to my earlier point of how almost all of the economy would run directly through oil production, natural gas reserves, and the like. However, consumption of their own reserves is planned to increase. Libya experienced its peak production of petroleum in the late 1960s. International oil companies had to start working with the national oil companies, which obviously caused an unrest in the way things were run. The international oil companies were scared to invest during uncertain times in Libya because of all the civil unrest and the attacks that were made on oil refineries. People were finding investing in Libya was more like a gamble than investing in an actual future. And the picture that you can see at the bottom of the screen is the logo of Libya's national oil company. Oil production has been dropping due to all the violence and civil unrest that has been going on in Libya and the Middle East as a whole. Libya does still have 5 main refineries: Ras Lanuf, Az-Zawayi, Tobruk, Brega, and Sarar, but they are currently dealing with inefficiency because the UN has banned certain refinery equipment, making it extremely difficult for efficiency to come easy. Highlighting the major points to wrap up our presentation, Libya's land consists of dry, arid deserts, but they are home to abundant amounts of hydrocarbons, making it extremely easy for Libya's main export to be natural gas and oil. It was originally ruled by Ammar Iris Senussi, but was replaced by Colonel Muammar al-Gaddafi. Civil war has caused major upheaval in Libya's oil economy and economy in general, as it would in any economy in any country. Libya is home to the largest proved oil reserves in all of Africa, and is the 7th highest natural gas reserves in the world. Oil production peaked in Libya in the late 1960s, and even though they're dealing with extreme inefficiency, Libya has 5 main refineries. This last slide is just to include the works cited for the pictures that we have used for our presentation.